everybody, it's me, Lisa, the Love Coach here. Hope you're having an awesome day, and I'm really happy that you found me on this YouTube thing, on this Facebook Live thing, and I'm here to talk to you today about green flags. I know everybody hears about red flags, but what happens when you meet someone and you think it's a good thing and you don't want to F it up? So I wanted to come on and give the opposite side to the red flags and talk a little bit about the green flags. Somebody reached out to me with this meme, and it had like really cool concepts on it about green flags, meaning what are the things in relationships and dating that you want to look for in a potential partner, and then what do you do when you find them and you don't want to F it up? So I'm going to grab my list. I wrote some stuff out, some notes, some thoughts, some things just to have this organized. It's the quarantini. We're dealing with the 2020 lockdown of the quarantine. I got my cocktail quarantini. Feel free to bring your quarantini cocktail on. I'm going to be with you for a little while here, so feel free to have a nice cold beverage, sit down, grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and have a good time as always. So let's dive on in. Relationship green flags. These are the things that you want to be looking out for. These are the things that you want to aspire towards when you're dating and you're in relationships. I'm taking this sip. Take a sip with me, shall you? Oh my God, this drink is amazing. I'm going to set that over there for now so I can dive on into this wonderful content. Okay. First thing you want is, oh no honey, no balcony today because it's so windy out. It's incredibly windy and the sound would be a disaster. So I'm coming to you from the bedroom. I'm bringing you into my little place of rest and respite. And behind me over here, you see my vision wall that goes that way into a whole other section of my master suite. And yeah, so I figured I'd just come on in here. The light is nice and I wanted to begin. So, number one, the person supports your personal growth. Personal growth is so important in relationships, and if we are in a relationship where we are not growing, we are dying. What am I drinking? Brenda wants to know. You never mention it. I am drinking a lemon teeny, which is basically Myers, I think that's what it's called, or Wyers pink lemonade powder. It's like 5 calories. And then I have 2.5 shots of vodka. And then I have ice. And then I have a passion fruit, what's the water? I can't remember it. It's a sparkling water. Passion fruit sparkling water. All mixed up in my tropical cup. It's magnificent. I love it. It's like fizzy and delicious. Amazing. Okay, so now you're in a relationship, everything's going good, and these are the things that you want to be on the lookout, the green flags, so that when you see them, you appreciate them and you don't F it up. You just look out for these things and you keep the sailing nice and smooth, easy peasy. Okay, first one, supports your personal growth. Super important that two people in a relationship, growth focused. You're all about what are your dreams, what are your ambitions, what do you want to create for yourself, and then the other person tells what they want to do, and then together you support one another towards your endeavors. And also your spiritual growth too. It doesn't only have to be like accumulation of stuff and like upward mobility with work. It could also be about spiritual growth. How are you growing as a person? Okay, number 2, they practice self-care and they encourage you to do the same. Oh my God. When you have two people and they all are into the self-care and they know how to, do themselves, you do you for a bit, I do me, and then we come together. And self-care can be, multiple things. It could be going to the gym. It could be getting, in my case, I love gym, but I also love acupuncture. I love putting on my headsets and my beads, my little buds, and listening to a podcast, just journaling, just having like me time to care for myself, to do the things that I want to do for me. Okay, so that's important. Practicing self-care, super important. All right, boom. Number 3, self-reflective. Are they self-reflective? Are you self-reflective? Are you being like, how am I feeling right now in this relationship? Like, are they present? Are they into their feelings? Are they into their own alignment? Or are they trying to make you responsible for their happiness? If they're self-reflective, that means they are responsible for themselves, responsible for their emotions, and they're able to communicate what they need. Amazing. This way you're not like this. I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark. I don't know where I'm going in this relationship. I don't know what you need. I don't know what to do. If you're communicative and you're self-reflective, that means you know yourself, and then you're able to bring a very aware self to the other person. So it's perfect. It's like you're giving them the operations manual to you, so they know how to deal with you and how to like be with you. So very important to be self-reflective. Number 4, they have long-standing friendships. Okay, when I saw this on the thing, on the little meme, it kind of triggered me a little. I'm not gonna lie, because I had to really think about myself, and I had to think about my life, and I'm like, do I have really like long-standing friendships? And I was like, wow, I'm being kind of hard on myself, because I do have long-standing friendships. I started to look at my Facebook, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm friends with people from grammar school, junior high school, college, first jobs. So I have friends from all different buckets of my life. Now, granted, I am not chatty on the phone with these people every day. I socialize with them on social media. I keep in touch with them. My thing is on. Hold on. Bear with me, my loves. I gotta always remind myself to take the notifications off, because when I get rolling with you people, with you beautiful people, and somebody blows up my phone, it throws me for a loop, and I don't like it. I don't like the blah la la in the middle of my delivery of this information. So yeah, so I kind of like got a little hard on myself, and I said, you know, I'm not really like in touch with these people every day. I'm not like the friend who's like up everyone's ass. I'm not into that type of friendship. I just never was. I was all about like, you go do your life, I do my life, and then like, I know though that when these people look for me and I look for them, like boom, we are there for each other, and we pick it up like not a moment has passed. I actually had reconnected with many friends since I started coaching, like who saw me online and whatever, and reconnected, and like the relationship is like better now than ever, because we're in this adult place. So this thing of having long-standing friendships, I guess it's like a quality to look for in somebody, because it shows loyalty. It shows that even though you're growing and evolving through life, you still have these long-standing friendships, these people who knew you way back when, and that you can still kind of vibe with them in that way. I guess that's the reason for it. I don't know. Number 5, super important, green flag, empathy. Oh my God. If the person cannot empathize with whatever it is you're going through, it's going to be a problem. Empathy is so important, and I had to learn empathy. Oh my God. I had no patience for any kind of bullshit in the sense of weakness and like whiny, and like I didn't honor anyone else's needs because I was unavailable to myself. So this is like back in the day where I was like showing up in relationships very masculine, and I was very like not nurturing. I was just like, get it together. Like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, really handle yourself. And it was simply because I was treating myself that way. And when I learned to love myself and have self-compassion and be empathetic to myself, oh my God, everything changed. Everything changed. So empathy is a huge big deal in a relationship. I can totally see how I did not have that in the past, and I had to cultivate that through my own journey, through my own self-work, and I did it. And it really made a massive game changer in my relationship. And if you're interested in learning like how I did that, because girl, let me tell you, boys, girls, whoever's watching this, oh my God, I was hot mess, disaster codependent. Oh my God. I would be like controlling everyone. Everything had to line up just so. I felt everything was chaotic, and I had to arrange everything because I couldn't take it if the pieces were out of order. It was crazy. Crazy. Number 6, vulnerability. Another one. Codependent, right? Classic codependent. We struggle with vulnerability. Reason being, many codependents were not allowed to feel their feelings. Their feelings were not validated when they were kids. When they were children, they were not allowed to bitch, complain, say that they were hungry, bored. They weren't allowed to really be children and have normal needs like children. They felt as if that like they had to be like furniture. They had to just exist, go with the flow, couldn't complain about anything, couldn't ask for their needs, nothing. So as a codependent, when you have that issue, oh my God, it's so hard to be vulnerable. Because vulnerability means admitting that something is up with you, that you're scared or afraid or something is off, and that you have to come to your partner and be able to articulate that and then ask with love and sincerity for what you think you need. Oh my God, this is like putting someone codependent on another planet. It's as if you literally would take them, put them in a space capsule, launch them into space, put them in another galaxy, and then have them on another planet. You look around like, vulnerable? I don't know what is vulnerable. Every time I tried to be vulnerable, I was slapped in the ass or pulled, told to go to my room, like made to feel wrong for being vulnerable. So if you're in a relationship and you're able to be vulnerable and say what you're afraid of and say what you're like, oh my God, I'm freaking out about this, and you could just be you and be real with it, it's endearing, and that other person can then show up for you, and it's wonderful. So that's a green flag. Vulnerability, if you both can show vulnerability with no judgment, a nice space held, it is a wonderful relationship. Green flag all the way. Number 7, spirituality. Spirituality. If you are aligned with something higher, something greater that fulfills you and sustains you, then you're not going to be looking to that other person for their, bestowing you with worthiness. The worthiness doesn't come from them, right? They get to spectate you in your worthy self, right? Because your worthiness doesn't come from them. It comes from source. It comes from God force. It comes from your faith, your spirit. So spirituality, huge, huge green flag. If you have a man of faith, a woman of faith, doesn't necessarily mean full-on religion, although if that's your thing and you love to go to church and that's how you have a sense of community in your faith, amazing. But for a lot of people, spirituality is a much more intimate, one-on-one relationship with spirit. Call it God, call it Allah, call it Jesus Christ, call whatever your thing is. You have a thing, they have a thing, and it's connected in the relationship. Amazing. Spiritual is a huge, big thing. In a green flag, go for it. Good thing, good sign to have in a relationship. Number 8, self-sufficiency. Oh, this was another one that I struggled with. Oh my God, back in the day, I wasn't self-sufficient emotionally. I was self-sufficient, and I wasn't even really self-sufficient in tasks. I liked to sit back and thought, as many codependents do, because we're very regressed. Codependent people are very much like adult children. They're like big overgrown children that never had their needs met. So they're hungry for other people to meet their needs. So although I had full-on career, I was making great money, commuting to the city when I lived in New York and New Jersey and New York and worked in New York. My husband at the time was running the house. So even though he worked and I worked, and then for a while he didn't work or he worked from home, he ran shit in the household. Bills were paid, he handled it. I moved money to where it needed to go, but then I just was like, all right, that's on you. I was very into, I just want to have fun and I want someone to take care of me. And so it made for a very parent-child relationship as opposed to two equal adults, both self-sufficient, both able to pull their own weight in the relationship. So if you have self-sufficiency, which I do now, hello, finally grew up, finally am able to exist in a relationship as an adult, makes such a difference. And that self-sufficiency is amazing, because now you bring self-sufficient person to another self-sufficient person, and then you start to create magic together. Amazing. Healthy hobbies, number 9, healthy hobbies. Oh my gosh, you don't know how many times I coach couples and like they share a brain and they share interests, like they're Siamese. They don't have hobbies outside of one another. And they just are so exhausted from the to-dos of their life that they don't even have hobbies, some of them. So a lot of the people that I coach, they're very like success-driven type A type of people, right? So they have careers and businesses. So they often spend so much time on their businesses, and then they have their family obligations, the children, all the stuff that they have to do with that, that by the time 8 o'clock comes rolling around, they're like loading the dishwasher, hitting the sofa, and like dozing off on the couch. And so they lose themselves in that lifestyle. They don't have hobbies. They used to have hobbies. They fell away. And so what I help them do is to reconnect with themselves as individuals and really reignite what it is that they like to do that they haven't done in a really long time. Something for them. And your hobbies and your interests are also a part of self-care. So, you know, I like to merge those two together. You know, if you're into whatever, going on a run with a group, like a group running club, do it. That's your self-care. That's the way you get exercise. That's the thing that you do for yourself that lights you up. If you like to paint, if you like to play music, if you're all about an instrument, whatever your deal is, you know, learning, taking courses, have hobbies that light you up, both of you. You could have stuff that you like to do together, of course, but you also have to have stuff that you like to do separately. So that brings me to the 10th one, which is open communication. So important. What does open communication mean? Open communication is communication with the intent to learn, the intent to understand, and the intent to solve problems, as opposed to rightness, proving rightness, communicating to prove a point, communicating to manipulate and prove rightness. So my default question always is with couples, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And a lot of times couples get all wrapped up, especially now with, you know, COVID-19 that we're dealing with, and this lockdown and this new way of living in our lives that we're navigating, you know, day by day. I'm always asking people, like, guys, do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? Like, try stuff out, see what feels good, communicate through it with love and kindness and respect, and you will totally fare better. So I have an Amazon driver trying to drop something off, so sorry, time for me to go. Much love to you guys, and if you need me, I'm at lovequestcoaching.com.